All right. Do you want to watch another episode, or are we gonna do the non-spoiler now?
I kind of want to wait on the non-spoiler. We got to do the spoiler review for the first two episodes, but I do want to watch the third, but definitely not while you're falling asleep.
I mean, we got to get the non-spoiler done by Thursday, though.
All right, tomorrow. What are you doing at 9:30?
Tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
Yes,
9:30. I don't know.
might be before that. I have to stream at 8 o'clock, but then as soon as I'm done, we can watch an episode and do the non-spoiler. But if I'm gonna write the review and if we're gonna do the non-spoiler, I want to have like more to say, and I think that's off of watching at least three
I mean, yeah. I mean, so you want to go ahead and do the spoiler review now?
for one and two because one and two come out together.
Okay.
Three comes out the second week. I'm just ready to go because I drank an energy drink like an hour ago, almost 2 hours ago. Vibing. What is good? We are here with a review for one and two of Anne Rice's Talamasca. Of course, we are here, JVS Media. I'm excited to talk about this. Of course, they're dropping one and two together, so it's a kind of a big premiere, which I do like. I do believe episodes one and two, uh, uh both are fun. I do believe episode one is far superior. Which doesn't mean episode two was terrible, but I'm not as excited. I definitely wasn't as crazy about it as I was about episode one. But episode three, I'm looking forward to that. So I think that might change the way I feel, depending on the amount of things that they've kind of set up here. So it should be cool. But how do you feel about the first two episodes?
Um, I think it's interesting. Like the whole Talamasca, the order itself, and kind of their interworkings of working with vampires, working with the supernatural, the possible inclusions of ghosts and other supernatural like-minded beings, where you have basically kind of like people that really control where and how the information is kind of distributed. Whereas in this episode or both episodes, we find out that the organization is trying to do something underneath the rug, and they will spare no expense to who they're going to put in the limelight of that. And unfortunately, that is our main character. Guy is a telepath. He can see into people's minds, and he is very gifted at it. We saw him literally go up against a vampire and was able to kind of push past a barrier that a vampire had. So it's really interesting. But the thing is, like, he basically is a narc. I mean, I've seen this. This is classic. Like, if you look at like shows like True Detective, or if you see something like oh man, there was something I literally was thinking about and I spaced on it. Um, we've seen this kind of track before where you say that you're undercover, you say that people have your back, but then when the chips are down, like, you're getting thrown completely. The Lioness. There's a Paramount Plus show called The Lioness where you have a military trained soldier. They're put in a really bad, precarious situation undercover, and they're kind of just left there to their own devices. So it's kind of like, to what end? Why is this happening? What is actually going on? I think that's the thing that I'm more curious about. But like you said, I think that the first episode was a lot more stronger than the second, unfortunately.
No, I mean I have to back you up on that. I mean, I don't know. There was a lot of different things in episode two that I did enjoy, but there was just times where it felt like they were setting up something crazy, and then we were just sitting there waiting for it, and then the credits rolled, And I thought, don't get me wrong, I thought the reveal with the blonde woman, what Casey, what was it, Cavis? Yeah,
Yeah,
Chris Cavis. I thought that whole reveal was pretty cool, but I was expecting a lot more in this situation. Like things got a little quiet. And I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen next? And
right.
then we're both like, oh shit, it cannot end this early. And
Yeah,
but I mean, I did like that. I know with I believe Maisie Richardson, I think that's her name, Maisie Richardson's character. I think she um obviously is going to be very important, but I don't necessarily know if she's a vampire, if of course she's just I don't really know what to expect here. but I am just looking forward to seeing her character because I mean I loved her in DC Legends of Tomorrow and I haven't seen her in anything else, so that should be cool.
This
But
man was like Vixen,
I'm like
Vixen.
Vixen, Vixen.
But I think, it's a two handful. Like when her character showed up with, guys like Love Crush that he met in London, and it was kind of like they were hitting it off, and it seemed like, oh well, either she's a vampire setting them up, or maybe she's just that blindly like wanting to find love herself. And then they meet at the club, and it seemed like, oh, he's having a good time. And all of a sudden, this woman shows up, and I was like, you ain't built for that, bro. Like, and I suspect, I still do suspect that Maze's character is a vampire, and I think that the girl that he was with was her familiar. And the only reason why I say that is two different things. One, Maze's character said, "You've messed up. You've royally messed up."
Mhm.
And then the girl that he was with, he slept with her. She said, "I broke the rules, right? Like I shouldn't have done this." And I think that this is all part of the reason why everything is happening. But I don't know. It's too hard to kind of tell right now. But I guess we're gonna find out.
For sure. And obviously I feel like we're gonna see more of Helen in the future. I mean the way that their last conversation was like, oh, after this you'll probably never see me again. Like,
Yeah, like
dude,
get the hell out of here.
we're gonna see you in episode 4, bro. I
Right.
I feel like it's not gonna be that long, but no, I mean, of course, what they're setting up, I am excited for, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm not obviously done with. I mean, I like the show. I'm not gonna say episode 2 ruined it for me because it wasn't that bad, but it's just I feel like with what they did in this episode, they set up a lot of stuff. So I mean, I think going into episode uh uh 3, there's just gonna be a lot of stuff to kind of like maybe answers to certain questions and different stuff like that. So I am interested to see how everything kind of comes together because I am left with a lot of questions. We're introduced to a couple new characters, and I still have questions on who the hell these characters are, if they are, special in any way. But there's just a lot that I have to ask, and like you said, man, I mean, I'm just really looking forward to seeing like other creatures outside of ones that we've already seen, like vampires. Like I want to see other things that they're here for, and I think that could be cool.
Yeah, and I mean, you got my man Gideon Graves here in the first episode. That was
Oh, that was fantastic.
that was a really interesting vampire that was, how do I say, working alongside but using at the same exact time the Talamasca organization. That whole line of dialogue really set a really interesting precedent about who Guy can become, because it showed his capability, but it also showed how naive he was. And I mean, basically, the vampire was like, yeah, if any of these vampires get you, they're gonna use you, they're gonna change you, and it's not gonna be pretty. And I think, to be honest with you, the reason why the first episode works so well to me is they took their time setting it up. I mean, the first time we meet Guy, he's working for this law firm, and it seems like everything's normal, and all of a sudden, like he's looking directly at somebody, and it seems like he's reading somebody else's mind, and he just changes his personality very quickly and very loosely. And then on top of that, throughout the episode, we're seeing him uncover like parts of his past, what happened to his mother, the fact his mother's still alive, like how this whole entire time it's all been orchestrated by the order, to put him in a place to be used. But if we saw the beginning of the episode one, the black girl, like she was doing her own undercover stuff, and she was able to manage to save a package, but because she was getting cornered, she ended up killing herself. And I mean, the vampires there were so ruthless, they still ate her after the fact, which is crazy. Or was it vampires? It could have been something else eating her, because I mean, the vampires would have only just gotten the blood from her, right? They wouldn't have like ate the girl's flesh. They said it was like an animal was eating her.
Yeah. I mean,
So
and the creatures he was controlling in that first episode, they looked too deranged to be vampires, in my
yeah,
opinion.
it
So
kind of
it's
seemed
like
like zombies, to be quite honest with you.
it did, but I mean, like, I'm just curious to see what type of like power he has that he's able to like control the dead, if that's even what they are. So, and that's what I mean, because like, I mean, I'm sure we've seen something similar to this in other shows, but it's just the questions that I have due to just I want to see different types of creatures outside of vampires. Like this is just that's what they show would be perfect for, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm really excited to see how the next few episodes go.
Yeah. And I think that with the one thing that they did do well was um when I forget the woman that runs the order, I forgot her name.
Helen.
When when Hella was having a conversation with him asking like what did you get from the vampire? Did he look like you could trust him or not? And guy couldn't kind of differentiate. But when he said he was talking about her, like, you're both. Like I can trust you, but I cannot. And I think that makes for a really good anti-hero or possible later on antagonist. We don't really know. I mean, first time we watched, Interview with Vampire, like we didn't know like Lestat's intentions. We didn't know what he was going to eventually be. And at the end of the day, he's still one of the main characters, regardless of his intentions. Like there's levels of love there. There's levels of connection there that, keep you close to where the trajectory of the story is going to go. But with this, it's just very specific. They know that they're trying to do a slow roll. But I think the problem is the first episode was engaging enough and interesting enough of so many different vampires and things that you're uncovering that by the time you get to the second episode, like I was honestly falling asleep. True transparency. I was kind of just like, nothing's really happening here. And by the time something did happen, it was in the club, and I was like, oh, can't watch that. It's too
Yeah,
much.
I think my mind is so on the I want to learn more about this, learn more. Like even though it was super slow at times, I was just still locked in hoping that something else was gonna like get thrown at us.
Yeah,
So it's why I'm obviously giving the show the benefit of the doubt, and I really want to hope episode 3 and 4 can land on its feet. I understand. I think it's better that they drop these two at the same time
yeah,
because if we waited a week for this to come out, that would kind of be an issue. I mean, it just did not definitely have enough of that oomph to carry us
yeah,
for that one episode.
yeah,
And that's where the whole binging thing kind of comes in handy because when there are episodes like that, we can just dive into the next one, hope for the
yeah,
best. So I definitely think it was a great idea for 1 and 2 to be there because of how strong, in my opinion, episode 1 was. It carried episode 2, which
yeah.
made it fine.
Oh, there was other thing that happened in the first episode was Daniel. Daniel
Daniel, oh my god,
from Daniel
yeah,
from the Interview with the
interview.
Vampire. We know at the end, the spoiler alert for the second season, that Daniel becomes a vampire. Unfortunately, not on his own will, but God, what was his name? Armand put him in a bad space and changed him out of spite. But
Mhm.
we see him in this, and he's signing his little whatchamacallits, and guy goes and intercepts him, gives him a code. They meet out back, have a conversation, and that's where the first clue that guy actually gets. And I thought that was such a dope little. I want to see your boy back again. I want to see Daniel again. But I think this is the thing. I don't want it to be that with Talamasca, the only thing that makes it good is the other characters from the other shows interweaving in it. But I think it's a hard sell because ultimately the show is in between both shows. The show is the buffer in between. It's not just a spinoff. Like it thrives off of all these other creatures with a being like God that really is just a clairvoyant like telepath. Like
Mhm.
so I don't know. Do you think this can be engaging enough to continue? I think that's my question to you.
And that's what I'm saying. I think we're at a point where it's a little too early. Because again, I'm very engaged by this world. I really want to see more. Like the potential of this show is insane. So it's like, I think I'm at a point where it's like, I want to say a definite yes, but then it's like, then we have a episode like 2, and I'm just like, okay, if the next few episodes are like episode 2, where it's just them doing their own thing. Like it's not terrible, but it's just, I don't know. I don't think I'd be on board with 2, 3, like beyond. But as of right now, the first episode was great. The potential for this show is great, so I'm rooting for it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and get into it. Like, what was your rating for episode 1?
For
And
episode
then what's
1,
episode
yeah.
2?
For episode 1, I would give it like a B plus, A minus. Episode 2 is like a B minus, C plus, in
Yeah.
my opinion. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think episode 1 was an A minus because it gives us an open world to what Anne Rice's universe looks like and the capability of it and how harsh it can actually really be, even for the human side. Because I think at the end of the day, a guy's still a human. I mean, he may have abilities, but he's still human. So I give it an A minus. Episode 2 is kind of like a C plus to a B minus for me. um it was taking me out. There was nothing really actually engaging happening, and it's not just because like there isn't action going on. I think there wasn't enough dialogue to kind of keep me in, and I think that every time that there's kind of like a mystery or like somebody's uncovering something that you're supposed to see that they're reading off or like a symbol, like even when the love interest in the second episode kind of came up and like put something on his hand, I couldn't see what was on his hand to even know what was going on. And
Mhm.
even when, at the end of the episode, the second episode, when all hell broke loose and she died and the guy that he was trying to chase down died, it was kind of like, oh, there's something in my bag. It's a book. And we don't know if this is the same book that she had. Remember, she had a book in her bag, and we don't know if that's the same as that book or he had a separate book. We really don't know. And I think the other thing was that guy made some stupid decisions. The second to the third act of this episode, I think that every decision he made was just dumb, and it just doesn't help. I think the case of the show when he's making choicy decisions like that. So yeah, I think it's like C minus. I'm sorry. Well, C plus or B minus for me.
C minus, I would have been like, that's crazy. Damn, bro. But all right. Again, I know we're a little on the negative side right now, but that's not going to be how we usually are. I mean, we're positive people. Interview with the Vampire got nothing but positive vibes from us. Really hoping we get the same thing with this episode, with episode 3. So I'm rooting for it. I'm excited. Sam's falling asleep, so we're gonna call it. Thank you guys for taking the time to, of course, watch. Of course, show us some love on Instagram, TikTok, on Team JVS. Show some love, and we'll see you later. Peace out.
Later, guys. Peace. Uh-oh.
Filing out the top of I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.